All right, Beer Night followers, this is episode 19 of Beer Night video game segment, the last segment
The
of episode
final
19.
segment, and we're going to call this the grand finale this time because we got not one, but two bonus beer reviews
Yes, and they're video game themed beers.
that are video game related.
Yes.
So this episode has 3 beer reviews instead of the normal one.
We ain't fucking around. Episode 19, I tell you what.
All 10% and above
Yes.
for these ones.
You're getting fucked up tonight.
So let's get right to it,
Yes,
I guess.
yeah,
I mean,
get right to it. So we'll do a beer review. We'll pour one. We'll do half and half, and then we'll also ask some video game questions that I got lined up for us. Maybe some video games that we've been playing lately. We'll see what the night entails.
So here's what we're doing
What are you doing?
for these beers. I've seen these around a lot, and I've yet to actually get to them to drink them. So it seems like a perfect opportunity right now, right?
Yeah. I think Jesnar also put this in one of her reviews for us back when somewhere.
Did you, Jenna?
I believe so.
Did you?
So.
You might have.
I don't remember.
Maybe.
I can't remember which one it was, but I believe so.
Maybe. She did a lot of things.
A lot of things.
Where is she?
I can't remember.
He's missing in action.
Yeah,
that girl.
miss.
Mortal Kombat beers.
Yeah.
We got 2. Utah. Give me 2.
2.
We got 2 of these fuckers. 2 different ones. So this one is the Raiden version. This is the Imperial Saison. Mortal Kombat 10 themed. So it seemed like video game segment, video game beer. It's kind of a natural fit, right?
Sense.
You might as well go with it.
Sense.
So we're gonna do this one, and then we got another one coming up.
Yeah, so I wonder who Raven's gonna be facing. Raven versus
Raiden, not Raven.
Or Raiden.
Raiden. Just call him Raiden. So you pull some Metal Gear.
Yeah. So you pour half. I pour half in mine.
I'm starting, guys. Here we go. Starting it off. That half? I don't know. Let's see.
Maybe.
That half?
Yeah.
Not quite. Almost.
Pour a little bit more, and then you drink more than me. I don't care.
That looks like about half. It's there. It's ish. We'll top her off. Ooh, that looks nice. That looks really nice. That's almost as pretty as the Belgian. Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, pour it.
There you go. This technical work we're doing here. This is really
figuring this shit out. What's the percentage on that stuff? Right?
It's an Imperial, so it's gonna be a lot. Belgian style ale. It says, another one. Yay. I'm getting there. Bear with me.
Find it, Johnny.
8%.
8%. It's not that terrible. Not terrible.
It's a weak Imperial. 8% is weak, right?
It's weak, bro.
So again, the color, like it has that.
It looks thick.
It has a cloudy. It has a cloudy finish, kind of like almost like a wheat beer. Yeah. So like, it looks like a saison, but kind of more weedy, thicker. Unfiltered, maybe.
Let's try it out.
Ooh, smells very
citrusy,
winey.
Yeah. That's pretty good. Not bad. Not pretty good.
Ooh.
It goes down pretty good.
That has a lot of flavor.
Yeah.
Ooh. It keeps going with the flavor too, like it's Ooh,
it's interesting flavor.
That's
I don't know what to compare it to. Really,
one of the more flavorful saisons I've ever had.
Yeah, it has a great layer of flavor to it. I don't know what to compare it to. It does taste like a beer.
So it's got this like almost kind of peach pear is flavor, like little peach, a little bit of pear. But then there's almost like a candied element in there.
Yeah.
Almost like, dare I say it, slight toffee? I'm getting a lot of peach pear element.
Yeah.
You're not tasting any of the
I'm
fruitiness?
tasting it right now. It tastes fruity. Definitely need a fruity taste to it, but
Not what I was expecting at all.
I can't figure out what. I'm not sure if I'm getting the peach flavor like you.
I feel peach and
it's
pear
it's different.
like
It's
mixed,
so different. Yeah.
and then with a little bit of like a candied almost sugar element, like
I definitely kind of
like
taste
a candied
like
apple
a sweet,
almost.
like a sweet flavor a little bit. Yeah, like candy apple. Yeah.
Yeah, like a candied apple, almost like that. Like it's got like this candied kind of finish, like
Yeah.
toffee or something like that.
I definitely feel the toffee. Yeah.
It's really
I had a
good.
burp and I can taste it with the burp actually.
Classy.
Classy, baby.
It's really good.
It's good. It goes down great.
I'm not sure I could drink a lot of it
No,
because it is.
it's thick.
It's pretty sweet.
It's sweet
too.
and it's got a strong taste to it, even though it's 8% only. But it is pretty strong alcohol feel to it.
It's really fucking good though, man. Like it's
Yeah, it's not bad.
got a lot of flavor to it. I'm actually kind of surprised. I don't know what. For some reason, I wasn't expecting it to
Yeah.
be that flavorful.
It's very flavorful. It is like it just getting so much with the beer, so much with it. I guess I'm getting like a fruity taste, but I don't know if I'm getting the pear. It feels
I'm getting
citrusy.
I'm getting peach pear with
I don't
candy
know what
apple.
I'm getting. I'm not.
It's really
I can maybe feel like the candy apple
Yeah.
taste like at the bare end of it, but like
well. The aftertaste,
Oh.
especially the
Yeah.
aftertaste, has that candied
It does,
flavor,
it
like
does.
that candied kind of
Yeah.
toffee, almost
yeah.
not quite caramel, more toffee flavor. Like it's just very that flavor you get from a candied apple. Honestly, it's
Yeah.
interesting.
Go rating. There you go. As we sip on this,
Expected to be a little tougher.
I know
Rating.
a little
Like,
bit.
it's kind of fruity.
Yeah.
Good though. It's really good.
We're gonna go ahead and answer some video game questions. So hopefully, you're watching here. What's a game?
I like that. Hopefully you're watching.
Hopefully, you're watching.
Yes. Hopefully you are.
What's a game you thought you'd like but actually hated?
Ooh. Okay. I'm gonna go deep. Deep cuts here. This is old school.
Mhm.
I don't. There's probably something recent,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna go. What immediately pops to mind. What immediately pops to mind is Manhunt and State of Emergency. Remember those?
I've never heard
You
of
play
those
those?
games. No.
PS2 era, I think.
Yeah.
PS2. So Manhunt was supposed to be like a Running Man type game, right? Where you're on this game show where you have to go around and they take prisoners and put them in this game show, and you're supposed to run around and
Yeah.
kill each other. And then State of Emergency was like a cheap, kind of like a cheap GTA knockoff, except you're in
Yeah.
a mall.
I never heard
Just
of
kind of
those
run
games,
around
yeah.
like it's stupid. It's not
Yeah.
very good.
That's probably why.
So both of them were really controversial because of the violence. And so, as a younger person,
Like violent things sometimes.
you were like, "Oh, these are going to be really
Yeah.
cool, right?" And then you get them, and you're like, "This is fucking lame." So it makes you appreciate how well something like GTA was done,
Yeah.
right? How well those games are crafted. Because there you can think of GTA. You could easily think of it as just a game where you just run around and shoot people, and some people played it like that, right? But realistically, it's an extremely well crafted game with lots of stuff to do and lots of things to keep it entertaining, and especially good storylines as
Yeah.
well. These two games I'm referring to had none of that. It
Mm.
was just gratuitous
Yeah.
violence and repetitive. That was really the killer. Is they were
Repetitiveness.
super repetitive, and which just makes it boring. You're just doing the same shit
Yeah.
over and over again. They were just cheap games that were trying to kind of exploit the GTA
Yeah.
craze, the hyper violence video game craze, and like make money off the controversy, and they were just pretty much garbage.
I don't know.
What do you got?
So I got pretty early or like newer games. I didn't like Watchdog. I played about.
Isn't it Watch Dogs?
Watch Dogs. There you go. Watch Dogs. I played
Another
about,
GTA knockoff.
yeah,
right?
yeah. I played a couple. Halfway through the first one, and like I couldn't get into it. I didn't like the mechanics of the game. I didn't like the way coming off of Grand Theft Auto 5. I immediately kind of played that game, and it's night and day. Like the way the mechanics are, the way the controllers are, I didn't like. And then I didn't like the story too much.
And GTA 5 is an incredible,
incredible fucking game.
Yeah, ridiculously good game.
Three fucking generations of video game consoles. Still going strong apparently. But yeah, I didn't like that game at all, and which is crazy because a lot of people did. It won. I think it won Game of the Year. I believe that year.
No,
I think it did, or two did, I can't remember which one.
I don't think it ever won Game of the Year. No. It might have been nominated, but I don't think it ever won.
This one, the next one that I didn't like, did win Game of the Year. Was Deathloop. I did not.
Deathloop did not win Game of the Year.
Yeah, it won Game of the Year last year. It did. We went through this last year. It did win Game of the Year.
Sure.
I'm positive.
I'm looking it up right now.
Go look it up while I talk about this.
You talk. I'll look.
So, Deathloop is a first-person shooter game, and you kind of just you go through a.
What year? Last year.
Last year. It was last year. You go through this process of who's killing you. Who is killing you, and you got to figure it out. And in this process, you get upgrades, you find new guns, you find ways to kill these people. Other people are trying to kill you as well. So if you die, you end up back in this loop, and you restart, and you do all this nonsense again, and you kind of figure out clues. I didn't want. Oh, It Takes Two won Game of the Year. That's right. I thought Deathloop did win.
It was nominated.
It was nominated. I thought it did win. Oh, It Takes Two won. Some indie game.
Oh, Ratchet was nominated.
Yeah,
I fucking love Ratchet.
That's right.
Oh, Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah.
Play it. Love Ratchet.
I just found out Deathloop was too repetitive, and I didn't like the first-person shooter aspect of the game. So I thought the trailers looked good, but me playing it, I didn't like it.
It seemed interesting. The
It
trailers
did.
made it seem interesting
It did,
for sure.
but
Yeah.
it didn't catch my attention too. I didn't like it too much. So, I mean, that's one question. Let's finish this beer. You want to give it a rating? Want to do a rating?
Was that the only?
No, we got another. Yeah,
No,
those
was that the
two.
only games?
Two games, yeah. Two games. Kind of like, most of the time I like the games that I play, for the most part. Those
I'm struggling to think of another one that disappointed me that way.
You buy a game, you think you'll like it, right? Most of the time you would like the game that you buy. There's times where you don't.
So you know what? I wouldn't quite say like I really disliked it, but you know which one didn't really connect with me the way I was hoping it would was Evil Within.
Oh really? I haven't played that one yet.
So I was hoping like it would connect with me the way that Silent Hill did back in the day, and it just kind of didn't. It was cool, but I was just kind of got over it after a while. I was kind of whatever. Like, and they came out with a sequel, Evil Within 2, and it was just like no interest whatsoever. Even though I was pretty hyped for the first one. It wasn't a bad game, so I wouldn't hate on it too much. Yeah. But I just didn't connect with me the way I wanted it to. I mean, that's another one that kind of came to mind.
All right.
Pretty much any first-person shooter. Yeah, Resistance: Fall of Man. But that's only because it's a first-person shooter. Yeah. Otherwise, it was a good game. I just don't like first-person.
No. Halo.
Fucking hated that game. To be fair, I didn't play it much, but the times I did play it, I'm like, I don't get it. I don't get the hype. But it's because I remember
playing Halo 2 a lot.
It's because I don't like first-person shooters. First-person shooters, I don't know what it is. Yeah. They bore the fucking daylights out of me. They really do. They just bore the fucking tears out of my eyes. Yeah. I just can't I don't. Doom, who was really the last first-person shooter I really enjoyed. Really like I used to play that shit out of Final Doom. I loved Wolfenstein 3D back in the day. Yeah. Spear of Destiny. I mean, I used to love that shit. And there just came a point in time where I'm like, for some reason, I got more into third-person storyline-based games. Yeah. And those just left the first-person shooters way behind. I I wanted a character to follow. I guess people used to always say, "Well, in a first-person shooter, the character is you." And I'm like, I know me.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need it like me. Like, I spend every day with me. I don't give a fuck. Like, I want a story about someone else that's interesting. Like, I live my story every day. Like, I don't care. Like it's my hand with it holding the gun, shooting at shit. It's like, oh, cool. I guess
This is
lame.
not really video game like, but there's this movie called Hardcore Henry. It's the first.
Yeah.
Did you like that movie?
I
You
did.
see it? Yeah.
I did. It was a fun movie.
Yeah,
A fun little movie.
Cool.
It was a fun little movie, but that's different.
Yeah.
Because it was a small dose. An hour and a half movie.
Yeah.
You're not. You're
playing a video game for
like
30 plus hours sometimes.
I could get into Halo for an hour and a half,
Yeah.
and after that, I was pretty much like,
oh, thanks.
okay, guys, I'm good. I'm good. It just didn't connect with me beyond that. Hardcore Henry was fun.
Yeah.
It was fun. It was a fun, enjoyable movie for an hour and a half. If it went on for 2.5 hours, it might have been like, all right, guys,
Slowly roll.
we've got to wrap this shit up now.
Let's go third person.
Yeah. Let's just, at that point, even third person would be like, let's wrap this shit up, okay? Not that good of a movie. Small doses.
Yeah. You want to give this a beer rating real quick before we move on to the next one? Huh?
I think this is really good, man. I think this is really good. Like, I think it's
strong though. I'm feeling the strongness of it. Why did your thing do that? Of course, this happens in the fucking last segment.
I know.
Of course,
it's been too long.
It's been way too long.
Now we got the super headlights. It's Dumb and Dumber and
Super
the
headlights.
boobs and Dumb and Dumber.
Maybe I'll put boobies in the background right there. I don't know.
There it is.
Pub.
There it is. The pub is back.
There we go. It's a real pub too, by the way.
So here's my quandary with this beer. I really want to give it 4.5 stars.
Yeah.
I really do, because it's really good.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's not fair to the Kamei that we
just
in
had,
the first segment.
Yeah.
I don't feel like it's as good as that.
No.
So
I don't either, but it's good.
So I don't feel like 4.5 stars is fair. But at the same time, I really want to give it 4.5 stars.
Let's give it 4.
Yeah, but I feel like 4 is low. How about 4.25?
4.25. I don't have a quarter of a mug, so it's either 4 or 4.5.
Yeah, the mugs on the screen. There's no quarter. All right, I'll go 4.
Maybe I'll put 4 mugs, and I'll put a 0.25.
Here's my rationale. I'll say 4 because it's a little sweet.
Yeah.
So I couldn't drink as much of it because the sweetness would get to me after a while. So that's what stops it short of being 4.5. It's a really good fucking beer. Like, it really is. And it's got a lot of flavor. It's almost surprising. Like, it's almost kind of like
very flavorful.
It's almost kind of like, how they cram this many flavors into this beer. I don't know how they did it. It's really good. But because it's sweet, and I might not be able to drink it consistently, that's what's going to bump it down to a 4 from a 4.5.
Well, I'm not getting too much of the sweetness when I drink it, but it's going down really good. I'm feeling the strongness of this beer a lot. I'm gonna give it 3. I'm gonna give it 3. Maybe no, I'm gonna give 3.5.
That's low.
3.5 stars.
I thought 3 is really low.
It's fucking satisfying. I wanted to give it a 4, but I think it's just not as good as a 4. I don't know.
3.5's not bad. I thought 3 was pretty low.
I'm gonna go 3.5. 3.5 beer mugs. Fucking satisfying beer. It's good. It's just it's I'm not getting, I don't know why, but I'm not getting the flavor. I don't know why. I'm not getting the flavor that you're getting. It's not hitting me.
Oh fuck. You need to drink mine? Like,
I don't know.
Here.
You poured it
Here.
No,
try some of mine and see.
You gotta drink all yours.
I'm just gonna give you try a sip and see if mine tastes different.
I don't know.
You gotta tilt your glass, dumbass. Come on, tilt the glass. Thank you.
There you
Making
go.
it hard on me.
Yes.
That's what I'm tasting right there.
Yeah. You're tasting. Yeah, man.
No?
Tasting. I mean, I can taste the candy, caramel, apple aftertaste a little bit, toffee kind of. but like any initial flavor is not there for me. I don't know. So 3.5 is Mugs is what I got, and we also have another beer. So he's got to finish that. Let me pop that open while
You
you
want to
finish.
present the Sub-Zero?
Sub-Zero. This is an Imperial
Sub-Zero.
IPA. I'm trying to get a percentage here. It's 8.5%. Mr. Sub-Zero right there. And we're gonna see who wins this battle here. You never know. Mortal Kombat X 10.
Might we favor the IPA over the Saison? I don't know. Time will tell.
I'm not a fan of IPAs too much anymore these days, but we shall see. Give me the beer opener, sir. Microphone. Here we go. Let's see what this looks like.
Ooh.
Woo. You just shake that rest of that beer.
Yeah, the alcohol gets you.
It does.
The high percentage.
Thinking is about right.
It's
Maybe. I might have got a little bit more.
It's alright, dude. It's alright. You'll be alright.
It's kind of going off with last. Looks like I might have got a little bit more. I'll drink it all. No, it's about the same.
Yeah, you're a little more.
A little more.
Yeah.
Not bad, though. Not bad.
Right. Oh, look at that. Now that is a thickie.
That's a thick one,
That's
too. It's
deep.
like the same. Same kind of thick.
But it's darker.
Let's start.
Yeah, it's darker
Yeah.
for sure. Way darker.
Yeah. Well, cheers to you. Wine. Yeah.
Swirl it around.
Swirl. Cool. That's an IPA. Not bad. Pretty good.
It's pretty fucking good, dude. Pretty good.
The bitterness is coming now, but very, very tail end there.
More pear flavor. Like I'm getting pear again.
Pear again?
But in an IPA. And it's super smooth and not super bitty. Not super bitter on the back end of the flavor. Like you don't.
It's there, but it's not bad. It's not bad at all.
Not like typically. It's not that super dry hops,
no.
like kind of bitter flavor.
Yeah, I like this.
It's
one.
creeping actually. So as I
I told you, it's right at the end.
It's creeping, but it's still not bad at all.
I actually do taste the pear in this one.
Mm-hmm.
I do. And pears have that bitter taste a little bit.
This is a really, really, really fucking interesting IPA. If there's IPA drinkers out there, I'd be interested to know what you think about it. Maybe it's not hoppy enough for you. I don't know. But this is really interesting. I really don't know what to make about this right now. This is kind of throwing me for a loop. I was not expecting this out of an Imperial IPA at all.
It's good, but definitely the tail end is definitely IPA. I'm getting more of the bitterness at the tail end.
But it's still...
But it's not as bad.
It's still
not as
mild.
It's very mild.
Oh, yeah. Compared to other Imperial IPAs where you're just like... Blah, blah, blah. Like a stout a stone Imperial IPA, where you're just like your tongue is like like it just feels like there's like this
dryness,
bitter cake on the back of your tongue.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's good flavor. It's good flavor for an IPA because you're not initially tasting the hops.
No,
not really. Not
like the hops are mild. Like you get the hoppy aftertaste, but even that is mild. Like it doesn't overpower to where you're just like, ugh. Yeah. Like it's just it's like it comes up and you're just like, oh, there's like a nice little bitter hoppy aftertaste there. It's nice. It's subtle. It's subtle. That's the word I'm looking for. It's like a subtle bitter hoppy aftertaste. It doesn't kick your ass. Fucking interesting. Like, I was not expecting that at all.
It is strong though. It's pretty strong.
So it's not the flavor bonanza that the
Yeah.
Saison was,
Yeah.
but it still has a really nice. I mentioned pear. It's got a slight pear flavor, almost kind of a creamy. There's like a creamy element to it,
Creamy element to it.
a little bit, just a
Yeah.
touch. And the hops doesn't come in until the back end, and
Yeah.
it's not strong. Like it doesn't come in like hard. Like it doesn't like
It's
it doesn't hit you in the face. Like it's
sitting there.
easy. It just kind
Easy
of
sitting
creeps
there.
up.
Yeah.
It's just easy. It's
Sitting
almost
there
kind of
easy.
it almost kind of makes me like it. Like I
Yeah.
like. I don't mind the bitter hops flavor. It's
Yeah.
just sometimes it's so over the top that it gets kind of extreme and kind of ridiculous. Honestly,
Yeah.
this is like there's that bitter back end which
Mhm.
kind of like closes the book, so to speak. Like it kind of
Yeah,
it finishes
Good
it off where
analogy,
it's like
good
okay,
analogy.
it's kind of like okay, now we're just gonna throw a little bitterness in there and it kind of just closes the book and you're like oh,
Yeah.
like the overall experience is good.
Yeah. All right. Well, while we sip on this and then we'll give it a rating, we got another video game question. This is kind of like the opposite of the last question. What's a game you didn't expect to enjoy, but ended up liking?
Shit. Here's the problem with this question is that I don't really play a game unless I'm expecting to enjoy it.
Expecting to enjoy it.
'Cause I don't have time. I don't have time
Oh,
to just play shit. So
well,
like,
maybe when you're younger age or whatever. But I'll kind of go first. So I never played like the God of War. Or God of War was on the PS2, right? Or PS1 and then PS2, right? So I never played them until I got PS3. I never
really,
knew anything about them. So like I had no expectations of this game at all. I thought it was like I wasn't really into like Greek mythology and shit like that.
really,
Yeah, I wasn't.
Greek mythology is bomb.
I wasn't
What are you talking
into
about?
it too much, but this game got me into it. So
Yeah,
I
Greek
was
mythology-
definitely.
Greek mythology is bomb.
So my expectations, fucking, I grew and grew. I love the game. I didn't know if I would like Dead Space. So you got me into Dead Space. So I think Dead Space 2 came out, and I never even played the first one.
Oh.
And I think you let me borrow the first one, and I was like, I guess I'll play this stupid fucking game. Ended up playing it, and ended up loving the shit out of this game, and I got all three on PS3. I'm excited for the remake for PS5, which should be fantastic. So those are kind of my two I could think of. That
So
I'm like you too. Like now recently, I'll buy games that I expect liking, and usually I like it. Undo the other games that I told you before, but
so I'm with you a little bit on God of War because I was always super into Greek mythology, but I didn't necessarily really know what God of War was all about. And whenever I saw when it first came out, whenever I saw all the trailers and everything for it, I was kind of like, whatever.
Yeah.
And I think it was a PS2 game, not PS1.
I don't know. I don't.
So it was a PS2 game, and I was just kind of like, whatever. I just never got to it, and so I don't know what happened. But they did a remastered version for PS3.
That's what I got. That's what. Yeah.
That's what I got too.
Yeah.
And
Did you play it on PS2 or no?
No.
Oh, okay. I thought you.
No, God of War 1 and 2 I never
Yeah.
played. And then they came out with a remastered version of the two of them on PS3
I got them.
before God of War 3 came out.
Yeah.
And so I played. I got that. I don't know what it was. I honestly do not remember what made me get it. I think I just finally relented, and I'd heard so many good things about these two games.
Yeah.
How fantastic they were. Game of the Year games, and just how everybody loved them, and I'm just like, finally I'll play these games. I think it was just I wasn't really into beat 'em up style games anymore, even though I love that style of game.
Yeah.
But the genre had just kind of died, and nobody had done it well for a long time. And so, for some reason, God of War just never really intrigued me that much. And then when I got it, finally, I mean, it's like, what the fuck?
It's the same game.
And
it's
like,
great.
it literally fit in because I've always loved Greek mythology ever since I learned about it in 6th grade, whatever it was. 12 years old, 11, whatever age. And so the game just literally fit in right to that. They literally take all of the Greek mythologies that you learn right out of the fucking book or mythologies, whatever,
Yeah.
and they just inject this hellfire of a character right in the middle of it,
right in the middle.
and he just fucks everything up,
Exactly.
but in an awesome way. And they stick to all the mythologies except the part where he comes in and makes waves, and it's done so well. It's conceptualized so well, and the gameplay is second to none.
Yeah.
And it continues to be that, by the way. The latest God of War game, the gameplay is second to none. Like, there's no... Every other game, like, any game that has lots of fanboys that rage about it, I don't know, The Witcher comes to mind. And I love The Witcher. Don't get me wrong. I do love it. But them fanboys are a little over the top. And which is why Cyberpunk was such a disappointment, right? Because they failed because the Witcher fanboys are so Project Red, right? CD Project Red. They think they can do no wrong. And it's like, watch what Santa Monica Studios did with the last God of War game, compared to The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, which is a great game. Don't get me wrong, I don't want to hate, but the God of War game, from a gameplay standpoint, is utterly flawless.
Oh, it is.
There's not a single
gameplay, and
you never but
like just
there's no bugs.
Yeah, it goes through the story. It's fantastic.
There's no bugs. There's never a moment. Like, I played The Witcher Wild Hunt, and I'm late to that too, by the way. I was late to that party. And it's a fucking fantastic game. I love it. But there's bugs all over the place. Yeah. There's issues. Because it's a big open world game. I get that. But when the God of War game is so refined. When you play that, there's never, like, there's not a single bug. Like, there's nothing
crazy.
There's nothing. Like, there's literally, it's so refined, it's ridiculous. When Ragnarok comes out, that shit is probably going to be dope as fuck. If it's not, then whatever. Oh, well. Life will go on. But I mean, super anticipating that game because it's going to be dope as fuck. Because every single God of War game has been so refined. Even when God of War 3 came out. When God of War... So I played... Anyway, I got to back up a little bit here. I played the first two remasters. I was like, holy shit, now I'm in love with this series. I played God of War 3, and I'm like, this is fucking dope. Like, that shit was so awesome. I love that game so much. It's still one of the best experiences I've had on the PS3. And yeah, I can't... The one when they went to Norse mythology, and they mixed that in, and it's such a flawlessly fucking programmed game. There's no hiccups anywhere. You never see any bugs, nothing. It's just perfect. And the combat is perfect and seamless, flows effortlessly. That game is a technical achievement. Like, it really is. And I'm excited to see if they duplicate it again with a new one.
There you go.
So I'm with you on God of War. I feel like there's another one. What else?
I picked Dead Space. I picked Dead Space because I was late to the party on that one. So, I didn't really. Okay. I didn't really like. I don't know if I would like this or not, but that fucking was amazing.
That relates to me a little bit because I was not as late as you were, but I was somewhat late in the party of that. So here's what I did. So I was looking for some new games to play for PS3. So I went to GameStop, and I found Dead Space and Demon Souls for $20 a pop.
Bingo.
Hadn't played either. And the rest, as they say, is history. Because I love every Dead Space game with a passion, and I'm a gigantic Souls fan. I play every Souls game after Demon Souls. Every single Dark Souls. I don't give a fuck what people say, how fucking hard it is. Yeah, you're all a bunch of pussies. I love every fucking aspect of those games. $20 each. $20. The best $40 I've ever spent in my life. Oh my God.
It
Like,
just, it
those games,
expands
it's like,
your fucking
dude,
horizon in
those games
changes your
for
game life.
$20 a pop.
Yeah.
I
Changes your
mean,
game life.
ridiculous. The Dead Space is a different category from the Souls games because the Souls games are 80-hour long RPG, grinding, build up games. Totally different. The Dead Space is Resident Evil 4 in space,
Pretty much,
but scarier.
Yeah, it's scary.
Like it's
Scary as fuck.
and it's just fucking it's
Play that shit in the dark. It's just
insanely
ridiculous.
great, insanely great. Even Dead Space 3, which doesn't get enough love in my eyes. Yeah. Dead Space 3, I had so much fucking fun with that game. It wasn't as scary, true, as the first two. It was more action oriented, true, but the way that they changed the weapon system and the way they lengthened the game and made it so you could utilize your weapons that you built more. Dude, I had so much fucking fun with that game. It was ridiculous. I would sit at the fucking bench and just make weapons and just wait to you. Not worth getting into.
Well, let's review this beer. This is probably the longest video game segment of all time. So,
talking about old games too.
Games,
we're talking about old shit
in beer reviews in the video game segment. So,
okay, the hops are hitting me a little bit more now.
They're hitting
me a little bit more now. I'm definitely feeling the hops a little bit more now.
Yeah, I am a little bit too.
Ooh, okay. Yeah. What happened? Now they're all of a sudden hitting hard. It's interesting.
Yeah, they're hitting hard at the very middle tail end of it. It's hitting hard. But I'll give this a rating first. I'm gonna go 2.5 stars. 2.5.
2.5?
2.5 beer
mugs.
That's
low.
It is low. Yeah, what was my 2? I can't remember my 2. Fucking tolerable. It's tolerable. In between tolerable and satisfying. Fucking
it's
tolerable.
Pretty low. It's pretty low.
It's not as flavorful as the rated one. It's the flavor's not there still. Like it kind of went away for the tail. It's getting a lot hoppier.
It is.
It is.
It's really weird. It really is getting a lot hoppier all of a sudden.
Yeah, it is.
It's kind of interesting. Like you almost kind of have to be here on the ride with us to understand. It is all of a sudden getting a lot hoppier than it was before.
I don't know if maybe because it got warmer or it's just I don't know. Usually IPAs, if they're warmer beers, are a lot more hoppier than usual, but I don't know. I got 2.5 mugs. What's yours? Oh, I don't even know if I want to finish this. Actually, I will.
Really? I think this is a 4-star IPA for me.
Really? No fucking way.
I think it's.
Star, huh?
I think it is objectively way better than most IPAs we've had.
Yeah.
The only IPA that I would put above this, as of right now, just off the top of my head, is maybe Phantom Bride.
Yeah.
Which is probably a 4.5 star.
Yeah. On tap.
And yeah.
In a can, it's like 4 stars. On tap, it's about 4. For some reason, Phantom Bride on tap is just amazing.
It's pretty godly. Yeah, it's pretty godly. And I might even put like the unfiltered Sculpin, even though I don't make that anymore. Thank you, Corona. The unfiltered Sculpin, I would put at probably a 4.5 as well, and probably put above this.
I'll put this at a 3. I'll give it a 3 now. I'll give it a 3. I mean, I took a big sip and it's not as bad. I think little sips are like not good.
To me, this is a 4-star IPA. Like this is, I would take this over so many other IPAs. Yeah. It really is good, and like the hoppiness started to creep up, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. Like because even okay, so we just talked about how good Sculpin is. Even unfiltered Sculpin, hoppy as fuck.
It is, but
if it's done right, it's okay. You can be hoppy as fuck and still be good. And I feel like this is there. Like the hoppiness is subtle. Like even though it was creeping up on us and we started tasting more and started to get more and more bitter, it's still subtle enough to where it just eases in there and it adds to the flavor instead of taking away from it. That's the key.
All right. I'll be a 3. Most IPAs, I'm at a 3 or 2. Usually these days, depending on what it tastes like. So I'm at a 3 at this point. I'll move it up to 3.
I sold him.
You sold me. You
Sold him. Sold
You
him.
better call sold me.
Yeah.
There you go. Well,
It's all good, man.
It's all good, man. That wraps up episode 19 of Beer Night video game segment and the entire rest of the episode. We are done. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the thumbs up.
3 beer reviews.
3 beer reviews.
3.
That's right. I think we're in 40 minutes on Beer Night episode 19 video game segment. 40 minutes. That's gnarly.
without Jesnar.
Yeah,
Without. Not
on our own.
Does anybody even remember Jesnar? Yeah.
Who?
I mean, we do.
My owl?
We do, of
We
course.
do, of course. Love Jesnar.
Yeah, we love you, but the 5 people that are watching this are like, who?
What? Go back and watch previous episodes. You'll like it.
Or she needs to come back and save us from having to do fucking 5 bazillion beer reviews just to get through the video game segment.
Why not? I think this is what we'll be doing from now on. Not beer reviews. This is a rare occasion, right? I found video game beers at Total Wine, which is surprising. But we will continue to do video game questions, find out what kind of things we like to play in video games and stuff like that with questions we will answer. So if you got a question, if you got a question for us, leave it in the comments and we will answer them for you on episode 20 of Beer Night. Yeah, that's it. Beer Night for life. Ayo. Yeah, it's for life. You should know this shit.
I got it.
You're failing miserably.
And I'm an NWO guy. Far more than you are.
Far more, yeah, exactly.
What happened to the hand signals? I just watched it.
Cheers to you. We'll finish this beer. Good night, good fight.
I got one for you.
What?
Bang!
There you go.